Hi there, it's Carla. Day 6, I think, of me talking about Traeger. So I actually got to do a Traeger session today. I had a client. Um, you know what I love about Traeger is it's so fun to do. It's so easy, and it is just so fun to play with the weight of the body, to play with the ease of the body, to watch the body move, and to get these fun rhythms going in the body. Um, it's just really fun to be a part of the pause and watch all the cool integration that happens um, after the body's been rocked and weighed, and fluffed and lifted and rotated and elongated and tractioned. It's just so cool to see the ease that happens in the tissue, to see expressions, to see faces become softer and lighter and younger, to see tension that is a shoulder held in a certain way or a foot rotated in a certain way, just soften, just become easy. It's just good. I love this work. And I'm also really grateful for this little commitment of every day talking about Traeger, talking about Mentastics from my experience and from my vantage point, because it's really got me focused back in my own self-care. I just did a Traeger session today, and so that was um, a super good for my own body as well, because the movement comes from me, comes from my body first, and it has to be coming from a place of softness and from um, a nice groundedness. And I got to be a part of that hook up, that sweet meditative energy that was happening in a Traeger session. And I just did Mentastics for like the past hour with a little Chris Stapleton and maybe some She Talks to Angels, and maybe from with a little Johnny Lang playing in the back. It was a little Mentastics with some kind of slime to it, maybe, but felt good. And we just get disconnected from this sweet feeling of relaxation. We um, we lose ourselves and we lose our peace, and that seems to be the nature of life these days. So something that I have in one of my practices over the years is I do vision quests, and I go to the land, and I'll supported by a community, will quest for 3 days, usually healing quests. Some people do warrior quests and full on fasts. I tend to do a healing quest. And when you're out on the land, out in the middle of the woods, being supported by a community and having a fire being kept on your behalf, and having members of your community eating on your behalf and keeping you in their thoughts and prayers, and you're doing nothing. You're nothingness on the land, surrounded by nature and animals and weather, remote, kind of out in the willy wags. You get really clear, and you get really soft, and you get really fluid and really connected to everything that's around you. And you really settle into this amazing connection with spirit, with yourself, and with the earth. And then you come back to life. And there's always like this grieving process about And why am I coming back to society? Because it's good? Not really. I don't want to come back. I just want to stay on the land. Like this is just a part of what questing is. And one of the things I was aware of today is like um, I believe that we can all be very soft and fluid and totally connected with divinity and spirit when we're questing on the land. But coming into society and walking down the street and interacting with family members and interacting with friends and partners can be a little trickier to maintain that calm, deeply grounded, peaceful feeling. But it's the time on the land that is a reminder of how it can be. And then we just keep shooting for pulling that off the mountain into our everyday life. And I just feel like a Traeger session is one more example or one more opportunity to be reminded of how it can be. Um, that feeling of what could be softer, what could be lighter, what could be freer. It's an opportunity to experience that in a very full way. So you can trot off into your everyday life and hopefully extract and pull from the Traeger table that experience and integrate that into your everyday life. And then we lose it a bit. So you get another session and you remember these feelings, and you remember how soft that shoulder felt and how long your back felt and how light you feel in your body. And then you go back into life and you try to keep that feeling going, but we lose it. And so we come back to remember what we are and how it can be. Just like I go to the land or I go to the woods to get quiet and to get still, because we don't even realize that we're not quiet and we're not still. We think we're doing fine, but then you have the opportunity to feel something a little lighter and freer, quieter and more still, and you're like, oh, good Lord, I'm a mess. So, and Mentastics, self-care, is another opportunity anytime you choose to do it in your day, or like for me, just the past hour and a half maybe, of erasing, just erasing the tension from the day, maybe tension for the last 5 years. Maybe you got to a little bit of that. Maybe that was a 5 year ago holding pattern I just was able to shake off back there. Whew. Life should be better without that one. Who knows? It just gives you an opportunity to like fall back in love with yourself and fall back in love with all the amazingness that we are and all this beautiful movement and softness that we have. That's what I have to offer for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.